Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Saturday, 12th of November 2022. Today was match day. We were playing away at Preston North End and it was pretty incredible. We ended up winning 4-2. We took the lead, they come back, we took the lead again, they come back, it was 2-2, and then we ended up going to 4-2. So, you watch a couple of Millwall games, expecting some goals and none turn up, and then suddenly you get 6 in one game. That's how it goes. This league is crazy. So this is the match report from southernnews.co.uk. Let's have a little review of this, see what they say. Preston North End 2, Millwall 4. Zion Flemming's incredible hat-trick helped the Lions to pick up their second away win of the season. Millwall ended the start of their campaign in style. In style as they picked up a 4-2 win against Preston North End at Deep Dow. The Lions had only won once on the road before their trip to Lancashire, but they were 2-0 up inside the opening 16 minutes of the match thanks to Zion Fleming's quick fire brace. However, the hosts managed to fight their way back into the match thanks to goals from Andrew Hughes and Ched Evans levelling the scores. Preston looked like the likelier of the two sides to go ahead, but Millwall ended up back in front in the 64th minute when Flemming snatched his hat-trick goal. Charlie Cresswell went on to wrap up the win with 18 minutes to play, heading in Scott Malone's corner from close range. Scott Malone put a corner in, Bradshaw headed it towards goal. I think he had a defender, went across the goal. Cresswell was there, bombed it in, ran onto it with his head, boom. So technically true, it was Scott Malone's corner, but there's more to it than that. Some match details. Millwall were keen to show that they weren't messing around at Deep Down, took the lead after just 3 minutes. Andreas Vogelsammer's powerful cross from the right flank found Zion Flemming in the penalty box, allowing him to hold up the ball with his back to goal, swivel around and fire into the bottom corner to make it 1-0. Preston looked for an immediate response with Ched Evans, the clear outlet in the final third. He was presented with 2 chances soon after, heading into the palms of George Long in the 11th minute from point blank range. In the 15th minute, Liam Lindsay ended up bringing down Tom Bradshaw on the edge of the penalty area, picking up the first yellow card of the game. It looked to be the perfect range for Flemming, which is exactly what it was, as the Dutchman's low effort fizzed past Freddie Woodman and into the back of the net. Yes, Zion Flemming played the ball under the wall. He fizzed it under the wall. And it went in. So, very clever. Just 4 minutes later, Preston finally found their response, albeit in a fortuitous fashion. Robbie Brady's free kick clipped the wall, but with the host winning a corner that pinballed around the box. In the end, Brown managed to prod the ball into the back of the net, albeit it may go down as a long own goal. It did. It hit. The geezer headed it towards. He was kind of on the touchline, headed it back towards the middle of the goal, and it hit Long's hand and went in. So yeah, I think that's George Long own goal. They gave it as an own goal on the PA, I believe. So that might mess up some of your bets. Millwall began to look vulnerable, and in the end caved in the 27th minute. The cross from the left flank was met by the head of Evans, who diverted the ball into the ground and passed Long to level the scores. Yeah, Long was just kind of standing there like a statue. He couldn't really do anything about it. I think was it Murray Wallace got beat for the header because Ched Evans just timed his jump beautifully, leapt like a salmon. There's nothing anyone could really do about it. The Lions had already surrendered the lead and truthfully were lucky to go into the break level after another good chance for Evans shortly before half-time. The Lily Whites went in search of their third goal immediately after the restart, with Mill needing to put in a number of good blocks to prevent them from testing Long. Soon after, Evans was set up by McCann for a low shot, which he fired wide, while the midfielder went on to test the Lions goalkeeper from the edge of the box. Boss Gary Rowett responded by bringing on Scott Malone for George Honeyman, switching to a 5-2-3 for the final 38 minutes of the match. He did little to nullify Evans, however, who broke down the right flank before firing a low curling effort well wide of the target. Yes, Gary Rowett did have to change formation. We were getting overrun. So he put the five at the back. Just as the tempo began to drop, Millwall starman came up the goods once again, put them back ahead. Danny McNamara's low cross beat everyone in the centre of the box, rolling towards the feet of Flemming. The attacker managed to bring it out from underneath him, compose himself, and fire it to the back of the net from close range to grab his hat-trick. Shortly after that hour mark, yes, Danny McNamara bombing down the right flank. Didn't just bombing. He's got a man with him running alongside him as well. He just gets half a yard in front of it and then just whips it into the area. He's not really picking anyone out. He's just getting it in there. And very fortuitous went to Flemming and he did the rest. The Lions weren't done there, however, with 72 minutes on the clock. Malone fired a powerful cross from the left flank to Bradshaw, who flicked it onto the path of Charlie Cresswell. The towering centre-back rushed in to head the ball into the back of the net, to restore their 2-goal lead. Preston were limited to long-range effort in the final stage of the game, as Millwall ran out the clock with substitutions and a slower style of play, helping them pick up a fabulous win on the road. Takeaways. We'll get to the team later on. Something else. Hat-trick hero Millwall don't get too many hat-trick scorers, but having 2 in less than a month is a real rarity. Flemming added his name to that list, taking his total for the season up to 8 goals, a staggering tally given that he missed a number of games at the start of the season. No denying how much of a talent he is, one of the biggest that the Lions have had in years. Indeed. Jed who? Exactly. Cresswell finds his groove. Many question Cresswell's defending in recent weeks, albeit that he has improved massively since coming back to the side, but nobody can question his attacking threat. The Leeds loanee knows how to attack a ball. He's a physical presence and an aerial master. The fact that his goal against Preston was the fourth this season speaks volumes, an important cog in Millwall's back line. You don't always need control. Millwall were absolutely wild in this match. They had next to no control until the end of the game. Yet ended up running out as big winners. It shows that possession isn't always a defining factor, neither is defending. Sometimes, perhaps even often, attacking quality and ruthlessness is the biggest part in rising up the table. The Lions showed all of that today. This is the kind of game that fans absolutely love, especially if you win it. I imagine Gary Rowett is not too happy at the way we played today. The fact that we conceded 2 goals, obviously he had to change the formation. I think he changed it twice to sort out the problems that he saw. So it's a game for fans, not a game for the manager. And let's have a look at the team now. So this is the match report from millwc.co.uk, but we're just going to look at the team. Match stats. Do we want to see that? Not really. It's just so they've actually given it as Brown, but I think there was a long own goal. They might have to change that. The thing that I was looking at was livescore.com. They gave it as a long own goal. So the team was Long, Cooper, Cresswell, McNamara, Wallace, Mitchell, Saville, Honeyman, Flemming, Bradshaw, Vogelsammer, and the subs were Styles, Saville in the 84th minute, Malone for Honeyman in the 52nd minute, Bury for Flemming in the 88th minute, Bennett for Bradshaw in the 88th minute, and Shackleton for Vogelsammer in the 84th minute. The unused subs were Biakovsky and Evans. So there you have it. Next home game at Wigan, 10th of December. Or next competitive home game, we got the game against Bromby IF. Don't forget that, 26, and that's cheap as F as well. That's £10 a ticket. So if you're trying to save money before Christmas, that might be one to take. the whole brood too, if you want to do that. So moving on now to post-match comments from Gary Rowett. So this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall boss Gary Rowett gives a verdict after Zion Flemming's first league hat-trick sends the Lions into the playoff places. Gary Rowett staying grounded despite Zion Flemming's first career hat-trick in the league match, taking Millwall back in the championship playoff places. The Dutchman scored twice to put the Lions into a 2-0 lead at Preston North End today. Yeah, we know all about that. But Flemming, nominated for October's Championship Player of the Month, which he didn't win, showed excellent composure to put Millwall back in front in the 64th minute. Yada yada yada. We're in a good position, but I don't read too much into that. Rowett told BBC London. Our recent form is good. 5 wins, 3 draws, and 1 defeat in the last 9 games. It's an excellent haul. I got asked a question recently. Are you worried about not scoring? No, that's why. Because it's a championship. You cannot score for 3 games and play really well, then play not quite so well and score 4 goals. It's a good way to finish before the break. You see what he said there? He said we didn't play quite so well. Like I said, it's the kind of game that the fans love, but fucking managers hate. They do all this work on the training ground, and you get that, and it's like, did you not listen to what I was fucking telling you on Thursday? Well, what are we doing here? But all's well that ends well. Flemming has 8 goals in 17 appearances for Millwall since his club record £1.7 million arrival from Fortune Sittard. I had a go at the players, probably more than I have for a long time at half time, because I just felt it was about belief, said Rowett. I saw Jed Evans make a run out wide and he didn't get it. He ran back to feet and didn't get it. He spun away and didn't get it. And then he ends up making the box and winning the header. There's that bit of desire and a little bit of extra grit that's going to win someone the game. I told him we needed to match that in the second half. Preston started quite well and we grew into the game. We scored a very good goal from Zion. We spoke about getting it in the box a bit more. There's more goals for him if he gets it in there. It's a great touch. He holds it, turns the play. It's a lovely bit of skill and a lovely finish. That's what he can do. We go 1 up and then he bangs a free kick in as well. That's 2 great goals for him. And suddenly we look like we're in control of the game. 5 or 10 minutes later, they score a goal that's a set piece. It's ironic because they show on the big screen afterwards. You can clearly see the player holding George Long's arm and holding him down. I didn't feel they deserved to score, and they got away with that one. They turned the game again. They scored another, a ball across the box, and we didn't deal with it. We looked a bit nervous and were stepping off and not brave enough. It's a great finish from Zion again. We had to ride a little bit of luck for 5 to 10 minutes, and I had to change formation to a back 5. We had to work hard to win the game. It was moments of brilliance from Zion that turned the game. We had to ride the storm at times a little bit. I had to change formation 3 times in the game to make it a little bit more comfortable. Indeed. So there you go. So like he says there, Zion Flemming won that game for us. That's not to say the rest of the team didn't play well in parts, but that was Zion Flemming being tuned in, turned on, and zoned in. He won that game for us. And now we got this from Southern News.co.uk. Gary Rowett reacts as Millwall score big win at Preston. Zion Flemming's hat-trick helped the Lions to score their second away win of the season. Gary Rowett discussed a crazy game in detail and highlighted Millwall's characters to come away a crucial 4-2 win. If I could have chosen how we did it, there would have been certain points in the game where I wouldn't have chosen how we did it. Rowett said after the game. I think it reflected on what's a crazy championship league, isn't it? Preston are a team that don't concede many goals. A team that don't score many goals away from home, and don't win many games. We end up scoring 4 and winning the game. I thought the game swung from end to end today in terms of control and pressure. They started quite well. We then grew into the game and scored 2 very good goals. Different goals with Zion, brilliant first goal, great bit of skill. I think the top end of the championship is dictated by moments of brilliance. We haven't had the players to be able to do that, but players like Zion certainly have come in, and that can be the difference in these games. Great little turn, he's just held the player off. Great turn, great awareness, a little bit of skill, and places in the bottom corner. The second one is a great free kick. We're 2-0 up, looked like we're pretty much in control. Then I thought there was a contentious goal, in my opinion. It was interesting where I felt as though the player had just held George's long arm to stop him jumping. And then they showed it on the big monitor. It was clear he was held his arm to stop him jumping. As disappointed as I am, they're 2-1 back in the game. They got a second. It's a good ball into the box. We started to step off. We started to get a bit nervous, and they started to take control of the game. In and half time, I was really disappointed, and I had a bit of a go at the players. I felt as though Ched Evans typified the first half. I thought he was outstanding. Pardon me. I thought at times he was unplayable. It was just down to sheer desire and sheer hunger to go and run, chase, and fire. I said to our players, that's going to win somebody the game in the second half. We need to be a team to show that as well. Let's see what happened. Indeed. So, Mill Boss talks through Zion Flemming's incredible hat trick. This is from southernnews.co.uk. It takes his total for the campaign up to 8 goals, making him the Lions' top scorer despite missing the start of the season. The last thing on earth I'm sick about talking about is Zion Flemming. If he hadn't scored, then I wish I was talking about him after the game. We started the second half poorly. I thought Preston started how they ended the first half and put us under pressure for 10 minutes. Clearly they were the team that looked like getting the next goal. They had a couple of harsh chances that they didn't make the most of. I had to change formation again, so we had to go from a 4 to a 5. Felt it gave us a real grip in the game. It gave us some control back. The third goal was a brilliant goal from Zion again. Ball comes into the box, he gambles. We've asked him to get in the box a little bit more. It's just his touch. Sometimes there's little moments of quality that open up the finish, whereas some players snatch it or take it too early. He just takes it around the defender and then a lovely little finish. Cress's goal really seized the Preston off. I felt up until that point they were still fighting and trying to get into areas. We changed formation again. I actually felt we looked quite comfortable at the end, indeed. And at the end, after the game was done and dusted, we had a bit of fun and games. This is from Jack Clark's Twitter. He's verified, so he's paid his £8, has he? Give me my ball back. Quality moment from top away day. Bizarre from the steward. Zion just gets it. It's perfect for us. Same old Millwall taking here. So there's the steward there in the height of his. Who knows, but it does make you wonder though, so if someone scores a hat-trick in a game, they get a match ball. It's supposed to be the match ball, but obviously in this day and age you've got multi-ball and all that shit, so the geezer gets to keep a ball. Who pays for that? Like, basically, how does it work? Is there an understanding? Or is it just like gentleman's agreement? Or like, how does it work? Is there like a formality? Obviously Millwall bring their own balls, part of the kit, do their own training in. They're all like penned up with MFC on it. So do they then give a ball to Preston and then Zion gets to keep one of the match balls? Or like technically, in the practical terms, how does it work? Do Millwall have to pay Preston for the ball? So Zion gets to keep it? I don't know, it's all a bit weird. But hopefully he got the ball in the end. And yeah, his first hat-trick in English League football. Good stuff. Yeah. So let's have a look at this. This is soccerbase.com and we're going to look at the championship table. It does look good right now, doesn't it? 6. We are 6. 5 teams ahead of us are Norwich, Watford, Blackburn, Burnley and Sheffield United. I mean, that's not bad to be behind those 5 teams. Well, 2 of them were in the Premier League last season, and the other one, was it 2 or 3? No, Norwich were there as well. I don't know. They're up and down like a yo-yo. So I think they were there. So 3 of them were in the Premier League last season, and 2 of them have been in the Premier League in the past. So that is not a bad situation to be in. We do have a game in hand in teams around us as well, a lot of them. Although that game in hand is at Sunderland away, so does look good. If we go down here and look at the top scorers on the left, you can see Zion Flemming is now joint second. Now he's all the way down there because we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players on 9 goals, and that's the top. Got 8 different players on 9 goals, and you've got 4 different players on 8 goals. Zion Flemming is one of those. Top scorer? Are we looking at the league's top scorer or one of them in contention? What I would say, so today's game, all in all, we had 5 shots. Zion Flemming had 3 shots. Zion Flemming had 3 shots on target, and Zion Flemming scored 3 goals. Like I said, Zion Flemming won that game. Not on his own. Like the rest of the players were dog shit. They were alright at times. Vogelsam with a cross. Some of the defending. Cresswell. McMorrow with his cross. But Zion Flemming's moments of brilliance won that game for us. Now, if you look back at last week's game against Hull, he had 7 shots and only 1 of them was on target. So he's been very prolific in the taking shots. I think he's one of the highest in the league for shots per game. So here's where it gets interesting. Is the future, the fate and destiny of Millwall Football Club intertwined and linked with Zion Flemming and his ability to perform? If Zion Flemming has a good game, do we win that game? If he doesn't have a good game, we don't win it, like Hull. And he had a good game today against Preston. We win it. So if Zion performs, we get the points. We get the points we got the table. We're now 6. We're not that far off of teams above us. There is a 5-point gap between 3rd place, but only a 2-point gap between 4th place. So what I would say is I want to show you something now also from soccerbase.com. So we go on to results and matches for Millwall for this season. We put the player filter on. So we can look at our results with and without Zion Flemming. So matches with Zion Flemming: 7 wins, 3 draws, 4 defeats. As a percentage, we win half of the games that he plays. But when he doesn't play, we only win 29%. So when he didn't play earlier on in the season, we won 2 games, we drew 1, we lost 4. We lost more games and we won fewer without Zion Flemming. So this is what I'm saying. If Zion Flemming performs, we win. If he doesn't, we don't. Is that what we're looking at now? Is that as simple as? We'll see. We will see. If we go here and have a look, see where he got his goals. But there you go. He scored against Bristol City. We won that 2-1. First away win of the season. He scores 3 goals today. Second away win of the season. So he didn't perform. He was a bit shit against Huddersfield. And Birmingham as well. But less so against Birmingham. But you see, when he performs, the result comes in. And it seems to be that we're very much dependent on him now. If we want to be at that level, that's at the playoffs and stay there. Yeah, that does look good though, doesn't it? 6 mil 6. Does look good. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.